Hi, this is Chris Hoy. Thank you for joining me on Create with Chris. Today in this quick tutorial, I'm showing you how to paint beautiful vintage lace the easy way using simple stenciling and some super fun techniques. This is a clip from my full-length video, Country Daisies and Old Lace, where I share even more amazing tips, tricks, and unusual techniques to make your painting experience fun, stress-free, and totally impressive. You'll find the links below for the full tutorial, step-by-step downloadable instructions, and all the products I use. Be sure to watch until the end. I think you're going to be totally impressed at how stunning this doily turns out. Using my oval wash to slip-slap bleach sand onto the bottom third of the plaque, and I'm blending it out towards the top just a little bit and towards the bottom. I don't have any hard straight lines. Applying a piece of tape using my T ruler to make sure that it is exactly straight. Going back now with warm white to brighten it up. This is the doily areas. I didn't want it solid white, but I wanted to have a gradation of colors with the center area being a little bit brighter, and just taking some snow white to brighten that top middle area up a little bit more. Position the doily and anchoring it down with a piece of painter's tape. Loading my spectacular stencil brush with Thicket. I load it into the bristles well and then wipe it across the paper towel, and that will eliminate any paint running under the edges of the stencil. That helps ensure that you're going to get a really crisp line when the stencil is removed. And I am also, when I go past the edge of the stencil, I'm blending it out so that it isn't a solid line either. It just makes it easier to bring those two areas together. Now I know I want that area behind the stencil to be a lot darker, so I picked up charcoal gray on the stencil brush, blended it in, and then darkened that area. I want to make sure to keep a light touch, and this is going a little bit faster so you can't really see, but I'm using a very soft, almost a circular application of the paint so that I don't press that paint underneath the stencil. Always, after reloading, wipe the stencil brush over a paper towel to remove the excess paint. My stencil brush, I worked a long time to get the stencil brush created. The bristles are very soft. Not only do you get like an airbrush up back, but it's very nice for blending paints together without receiving any brush marks or harsh lines. I did pick up a little bit of Thicket just to blend those two areas together. It helps to soften that lighter background. And then I'm just going back with my stencil brush just to soften those areas because the bristles are so very soft. It's easy to work that paint together to get a really nice gradation from the dark behind the stencil to a lighter area towards the bottom of the plaque. Always best to apply several light layers as opposed to one heavy. Look how perfect that is. I know it looks kind of flat now, but once we work our magic, that's going to look fantastic. Using charcoal gray on the toe of my 1/2 inch awesome angle to float a darker shade below that doily. It's just going to help lift it off of the background, creates a little more dimension. Not using a smooth float. I call it my choppy float. I like the way that looks. It's not solid and heavy. I think it provides more movement, and it just looks a little bit looser. It's a lot less difficult to achieve, and you just get a more painterly effect. Just going to go back and touch up here and there. Just kind of tap and pull. This is how I'm going to create that look of the folded doily. Just kind of bring that up. It's a double back-to-back float. Float just a little bit of that charcoal gray up one side and down the other. And then where it hits the bottom of the doily, I just put a little, almost like a little V there, and it just looks like that doily is folded over. It's basically an optical illusion. See how I notched that in? It just makes it look like there's a fold there. Now you want to make sure when you put these folds in, you're not adding them evenly spaced. It always looks better if it's a little bit more random. This is the first time I used this particular stencil, and I wasn't sure if I was going to like the way it looked, so this whole project was kind of a new adventure for me. I wanted to put something on the bottom of the lace. I wasn't sure what I was going to do, but I wanted to bring down almost like it had a crocheted point on it, and playing around with it several different ways. I've decided that it was easiest to, and I'm just using my stylus and warm white to add the dip dots, but I thought it was easier once I figured out what I was going to do to add the dots all around the bottom and then just bring those little points down. I kind of wanted the points to hang down and not go straight out. I thought that might look a little bit more natural. Each one of those dots is, they're not exact same size. I like the way that they're not all perfectly sized. I think that looks a little more natural and interesting. It does take a good bit of time to put these dip dots on, so if you're to that point, just put on some pretty music and have fun with it. This is where I decided it might be easier to, now that I know what I'm doing, to go ahead and put those dots around the edge. Decide where you want that point at and then just go down from there. And they're not all identical. I think the way that the doily is hanging, having it a little bit irregular, is more interesting than having it perfect. And be sure to pull some across the top edge as well. I thought that where that tabletop is, it definitely needs to be across. So I changed my mind on this and decided to make it go straight across instead of hanging down on that last one. Not a problem. I'll just take a little bit of that charcoal gray, touch that up, and it will totally disappear. That's one thing I love about acrylic paints. There's nothing that can't be fixed. Just tap it in there. And as I was looking at this doily, I thought it still was, it had a lot of design in it. Trying to figure out how to soften it up and make it look just a little bit more frilly. It's hard because there's so many open spaces on it to soften it down. So I'm taking just a little bit of that charcoal gray and I'm using it to separate where those folds or where those sections kind of crisscross over each other. And this is just kind of fun because you can create the look of the crochet by the way that you put those shades on there. Now I'm going in with a little bit of Snow White just to brighten some areas where it looks like it should be a little more of a ridge or a highlight on that doily. A little bit of paint makes a big difference, and I know I say that often, but it is so true. You can really change the illusion of how things appear by the simple application of just a touch of paint. Too much makes it kind of all the same, and then you lose that impact. So add a few touches, leave it alone, and then go back and add more if it's needed. At first, I thought I would just connect these sections with a simple line of decorative dots. I think that could have worked, but I wasn't real crazy about the look that I was getting from that. And I left it in here because I think it's important to see the process of creating, and if something doesn't look right, just play around with it until you're happy with it. So at this point, I'm thinking, okay, do I need to add more? And in my mind, I always think, well, what's the worst that could happen? I just take it off and go, redo it. But the more that I added the dots, the more I could see that it was really starting to soften the whole effect down. I didn't want the doily to be so busy and such a strong design that it took away from the daisies. So I just continued on with the dip dots and filled all of those in until I liked the way it looked. Make sure once all the dots are filled in that you do give it a really thorough dry, and I use my heat tool for that. It's so easy to go back and kind of smudge those dip dots. I am going back now, just reinforcing those shadow areas so that the dots aren't bright in the valleys of those folds. Just using a little more of that charcoal gray, such a beautiful color to shade with. Make sure that you don't put it on too heavy. It's a very strong color, so that you need to be very light-handed when using this, but what a beautiful shadow color this is. Just a hint of color. What a little bit of color makes a big difference, and I will repeat that over. Going back now just to kind of soften that doily down so it's not such a strong color. But look at that. Now, you can't look at that and think it was a flat white doily. Look at what a difference all of that shading and the dip dots have made on that. Absolutely stunning. And how easy is that? It really doesn't take much, just a little bit of color here and there. I decided I wanted to add a little more design along that bottom edge. Loaded my Epic script liner, that's my 18-aught script liner, with a little bit of thin charcoal gray, just putting some, I guess you could call them vertical stitch lines. And just playing around with the doily, enhancing those areas with that charcoal gray just to separate them out a little bit more. And again, a little bit of paint, what a huge difference, because now all of those areas have become defined sections, and it almost looks like each one has been painted on individually. Little touches, that's all it takes sometimes. And it's not hard, it just takes a little bit of time. And again, it's just such a hint of color on my Epic script liner that once it dries, it's just very soft, not noticeable, but the overall impact is absolutely huge. Everything I used is listed in the links below. I love how this turned out. I hope you learned some new tips, tricks, and techniques. It is so much fun to paint. I hope you give it a try. Let me know if you have any questions or comments. I would love to hear from you. Be sure to check out my other videos. If you like what you see, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. That way you won't miss out on upcoming videos. Thank you for joining me, and I look forward to our next painting adventure together.